We all know that horror is a very interesting genre in the realm of gaming that we can't get enough of, and we're always excited to discover more and more of it. However, the Asian division has always felt incredibly unique and different from anything else because it actually feels more authentic and close to the reality of actual people in the real world. This special feeling that this type of game has is usually due to the fact that most of them are based on the folklore and traditions of the different Asian countries and how their legends contributed to creating unbelievably creepy stories that outsiders like me find fascinating. The majority of Western games usually rely on the developer's imagination to compose a fictional story that's mostly about some possessed person or an abandoned haunted house in the middle of nowhere that you need to explore. But Asian horror games, on the other hand, love to rely on aspects that real people from their community can relate to and understand because they have experienced them in real life or even knew about them in the stories they heard from their grandparents. That's why in today's video, I'd like to showcase a few new Asian games that you guys might have missed and also some upcoming ones that you should keep on your wish list. And even though I feel that there's a shortage of titles in this category this year, I think the ones on the list can capture your attention and earn your interest. So let's end this weird intro and just start the countdown. Those who have experienced the first release of the game can truly grasp its exceptional qualities, making the upcoming launch of the second installment later this year all the more enticing. Shadow Corridor 2 is a game that challenges you to survive in a dark and randomly generated maze, and even though it is a sequel to the first Shadow Corridor, it actually has a new, unique story, new items, new enemies, and new, amazing features. The game is very atmospheric and immersive, with realistic sound effects and graphics that create unbearable tension because you never know what lurks in the shadows and you have to rely on your flashlight and other items to navigate the corridors. It is also very replayable as the dungeons change every time you play and you can explore different paths and find different items and cards that can help you or hinder you. Furthermore, it has multiple difficulty levels, so you can choose how challenging you want it to be until you master it to the fullest to test your ultimate skills. On top of that, it has a Karuta system, which is a unique feature that adds more depth and strategy to the gameplay. Karuta cards are collectible cards that have various effects, such as boosting your speed, making you invisible, or even summoning allies that can help you manage your stressful situation. You can use them to your advantage or save them for later, but be careful as some cards have negative effects as well, and you might actually regret using them, so please don't blame me if things go sideways. What's more interesting is that the game has a new story that follows a girl called Shiguri, who's in a devastating mental state and ends up in the Shadow Corridor. You can learn more about her background and motivation as you progress through the game, but in general, the story is expected to be intriguing and emotional, and it can be enjoyed without playing the previous game. You will also encounter new apparitions that are more terrifying and powerful than before, as they can chase you, trap you, or attack you in various ways, which means that you have to use your wits and skills to avoid them or fight them off. Some of them are actually based on Japanese folklore and legends, which really adds more flavor and horror to the experience. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think this one deserves to be on my wish list and on my list of top priorities when it comes to Asian horror games I want to try.
どこだ誰やねんお前何あの子よくわからないちょっとここに入るねアイテム回収来ちゃったやっぱり待ていややつが叫んでるからもうここ開けちゃおう
Welcome Welcome to Kowloon is an interesting indie horror game that offers a short yet frightening experience. With an average playtime of 50 minutes, the game delivers an intense atmosphere that will probably make you glad that it doesn't get any longer. The story is set in the densely populated city of Kowloon and follows a student seeking affordable housing in the area because, as you know, inflation is through the roof and living in an affordable haunted house might not be a bad idea. Anyway, the city's architecture really creates an immersive environment, and its hidden stories intrigue you even more because upon entering his new home, you become entangled in a different reality, surrounded by secretive inhabitants guarding enigmatic truths. And from the signs that you'll come across, the neighbors are probably serial killers and a bunch of psychopaths. The game also features impressive graphics and high-quality 3D sound, enhancing immersion and contributing to the creepy atmosphere because the experience is basically all about atmosphere. It's also worth noting that Kowloon is not a fictional place. It's actually a real area in Hong Kong, and it's known for a lot of scary stuff too, which makes it a logical setting for a horror game. So if you're one of the players who enjoys unraveling mysteries and navigating unsettling environments, then you'll most likely find this experience worthy and memorable. Especially when you realize that one of its creators is the same guy that made From the Darkness and Wrong Floor, which are two games that made some people pee their pants.
Con gái lấy chồng như chén nước đổ đi. Lấy chồng thì phải theo chồng chứ.
Mày có nghe người ta nói câu đàn bà là nữ sinh ngoại tộc không?
Trả nhẹ con trai đi, cho nhẹ gánh tông môn.
Nhất nam giết hữu, thập nữ giết vô.
Vợ mày không đẻ được con trai á, không ai mày cưới bà nữa thử. Tại gia tòng phụ, xuất giá tòng phu, phu tử tòng tử.
Dạ không có con trai, sau này ai lo nhăn khói.
Có chuyện đẻ đái rồi mà cũng không được nữa.
After a year since the cool Vietnamese horror game The Death, which was a great addition to the amazing collection of horror games in 2022, Vietnamese developers finally made a comeback with a new release last June called Bloodfield, and it really looks spooky. It's a culturally immersive horror game set in Vietnam's rural past, beautifully blending history, folklore, and supernatural suspense as you assume the role of a man called Min, exploring an authentic and eerie world. The game's attention to cultural details creates a uniquely unsettling atmosphere, intensifying the experience and making you delve deeper into the world of Vietnamese traditions and ways of life. The protagonist's quest to uncover the truth behind his sister and brother-in-law's deaths is emotionally compelling, intertwining supernatural mystery with societal critique, and the incorporation of Vietnam's myths enhances the gameplay, offering terrifying encounters and uncovering layers of dark secrets. The first-person perspective deepens immersion, while survival and puzzle-solving mechanics contribute to the tension. And yes, you heard it right. This game includes survival elements, which means that you guys should prepare yourself if you think it will be a journey of just walking. So I'm personally interested in giving this one a try, especially because the folklore of Vietnam is dominant here, and these legends and myths serve as both a source of entertainment and a mirror reflecting the nation's values, fears, and aspirations. This one was released at the beginning of the summer, and I think that mentioning it is a must in case some of you guys missed it or are still wondering if it's worth it or not. Night Security is the latest project from Chilla's Art, and it's a Japanese psychological horror experience where you play as a night security guard who must deal with the messed up stuff that somehow happens only at night. The game skillfully captures the essence of atmospheric horror by seamlessly integrating immersive environments with an optional VHS effect, contributing to an enhanced sense of dread. Its standout feature lies in inducing psychological horror by crafting a nerve-wracking narrative that intensifies as players navigate eerie spaces and explore the building. By drawing inspiration from Japanese horror films, the game's environmental artwork brings an air of authenticity and fascination to the horror experience, striking a chord with enthusiasts of the genre. Convenience is also upheld with an auto-save feature that safeguards progress on each floor, making it easier for you to focus on dealing with the psychological threat of the place instead of worrying about saving. Furthermore, the game's multiple endings amplify intrigue and replayability, encouraging you to explore the varied choices and interactions that shape your ultimate outcome. That's why I really believe that Night Security is an experience that masterfully melds psychological torment, a Japanese theme, and player-friendly mechanics, making it a compelling choice for horror fans seeking a chilling playthrough that's hard to predict.
家的样子了呢。这个床真的很大哎，那以后你睡左边，我睡右边，宝宝睡中间。平时你总是忙呀忙呀，我感觉都快记不得你的模样，我好想你。
今天是你35岁的生日，是不是自己的？
If you're a fan of the amazing and emotional horror game Devotion, and you're desperate to find an experience that has the same theme and powerful storyline, then you should pay attention to this title and get excited for it. No Return is a first-person game that takes players on a journey through modern-day China and a family tragedy, where the protagonist arrives home to find a nightmarish transformation and a looping maze of hallways, affecting the once familiar space. Navigating this unsettling labyrinth becomes the crux of the gripping narrative as he strives to decipher its mysteries and salvage his fragmented memories. The gameplay in No Return offers a mind-bending experience that merges reality and fantasy, where you must scavenge for clues amidst meticulously designed environments and eerie soundscapes that blur the line between dream and reality, immersing you in an unending nightmare. The game incorporates Chinese folklore, bridging the gap between the living and the deceased, and this cultural infusion enriches the experience and provides pivotal puzzle-solving hints, unlocking poignant memories. The best part is that there's a clear inspiration from classics like the iconic Silent Hills, as the endless corridor stands as a hallmark of the protagonist's entrapment. The corridor's familiar yet ever-changing nature underlines his predicament, compelling you to engage with the perpetually transforming horror. By revealing a tale of a fractured home, No Return gradually uncovers the truth through collected memory fragments, and this harsh reality, akin to peeling back layers of a wound, demands you confront its cruelty without turning away. So ultimately, there's no doubt that No Return offers a haunting journey into psychological horror, seamlessly merging intense gameplay, immersive elements, and unsettling truths that linger long after the game ends. So this obviously belongs on the wish list of every Devotion fan out there who wants to lose their minds and get terrified at the same time.
亲爱的，家里的刀呢？我怎么找不到了？
This title seems very interesting to me, and I honestly believe that you guys should be interested in it because it really looks like it's going to be terrifying and pleasing to the eye at the same time. Hollow Cocoon is a first-person horror adventure game set in 1980s Japan, where you step into the shoes of a guy named Minato Jinba, a college student returning to his mother's hometown due to his grandmother's critical condition. The immersive narrative delves into Minato's past and family secrets, crafting an eerie atmosphere that will definitely keep you engaged, because as we all know, Japanese family mishaps are always terrifying and something that makes us curious to discover more. The events are set in the remote village of Ichinos, and you will navigate Minato's journey, facing suspenseful encounters and unresolved emotions that will help you understand the history of the place. However, I personally believe that the game's standout feature is its branching narrative, with multiple endings, which allows you to shape the story's direction and contemplate its choices. It offers various difficulty options catering to different playstyles, and includes motion sickness reduction features for inclusivity. The game's visual portrayal also vividly captures the essence of the 1980s Japanese village, accompanied by a creepy and thrilling soundtrack that intensifies the sense of stress and unease. So if all of this is something that meets your horror gaming needs, then keep in mind that Hollow Cocoon will be coming sometime later this year, and you probably need to have it on your wish list in the meantime.
A student at Wenhua University, the last images we have of Huang Tingting are in the elevator of the school's Daoren building. The surveillance footage shows her making some bizarre movements, and soon after, she disappears into thin air. The police released the footage imploring the public for help, but it yielded no results. That was 15 years ago to this day.
I'm pretty sure that Asian horror enthusiasts are familiar with this one because it was one of the most interesting and surprising releases last year, and it's also inspired by a popular Taiwanese movie that has the same name. The Bridge Curse 2: The Extrication is a unique horror game that ingeniously transforms the cinematic narrative of the Bridge Curse 2 movie into a first-person survival horror experience that will probably send chills down our spines. This standalone sequel exceeds expectations by seamlessly intertwining supernatural dread with human intrigue within the confines of a modern campus ghost story. Set within the enigmatic Wenhua University, renowned for its ghost legends, the game introduces you to a world where the uncanny thrives and nothing makes sense. The narrative revolves around a group of students aiming to revive their ailing film club by orchestrating the enigmatic carnival of horror within the Diren building, which is a structure steeped in spectral rumors. However, their mission to reenact a bygone campus incident takes a sinister turn as night falls, enveloping their endeavor in an unsettling aura. At the same time, a bold journalist steps onto the campus lured by an enigmatic letter compelling them to untangle a long-standing mystery surrounding a missing person. But as the pieces of a perplexing puzzle come together, a vast conspiracy shrouded in darkness comes to light, poised to reveal concealed revelations. You will be immersed in the heart of terror through a first-person perspective, navigating an environment where university ghost tales, cultural traditions, folklore, and Taiwanese architecture converge, creating an atmosphere both familiar and foreboding. But that's not all. Survival demands shrewd evasion as you navigate your surroundings, strategically seeking hiding spots to evade pursuers or using elements and unique items to divert attention, which means every move is a desperate race against impending danger. So for those of you like me who enjoy horror that's mixed with survival and tests for stealth skills, this is obviously a title that's meant for your preferences and belongs on your wish list.
Oh, lucky you. I know everything there is to know about Wenhua University. If it's before midnight, they can do whatever the hell they want.
No! No! I've got to get out of here!
Hey, who the hell's down here?
Hello? Hello?
Okay, my friends, this is it for now. My goal for today's video has been fulfilled, and I have tried as much as I can to showcase to you the best new and upcoming Asian horror games that are planned to be released soon, even though I'm still convinced that there's a shortage in this category and I think developers should step up further. I mean, come on, guys. Where are all those developers from China, Indonesia, and Thailand who used to scare us with spooky games in the last 6 years? We literally need you now more than ever, especially because so far, I feel like 2023 still needs some special games that can stick in our minds for years to come. Anyway, if you know any other new Asian games that I might have missed, then please don't hesitate to enlighten me in the comments so we can all benefit. Until next time, stay safe and keep the horror going.